Okay friends, today we are going to add flowers to the background of our monarch butterfly artwork. Flowers have radial symmetry, also called rotational symmetry, which we talked about today. So that means that flowers are going to radiate from a center point. So I just kind of practiced drawing some flowers, making sure they all had a center point and that everything was radiating from that center point, so that if this flower were to turn, it would look the same all the way around. Of course, that the flowers don't have to be perfect, okay? Which means that if one flower petal's a little bit bigger, or if there's a leaf on one side and not on the other, I'm not worried about that, okay? All right, so if you want to practice in your sketchbook, do so. I also went ahead and picked out, I've got 7 colors here, I think. I picked out a green that I want to use for my leaves on my flowers, and then these are just kind of some colors that I liked. I may not end up using all of these, and I do want to make sure that I'm sharing them with someone near me in case someone near me wants to use these. Okay, and looking at the pictures I drew in my sketchbook, I don't have to draw them exactly the way they are in my sketchbook, but that just kind of gave me some practice. So I may change them a little bit. And I'm using crayon for this, and I'm pressing fairly firm, again, because you know that we're going to be watercoloring next week, and we want to make sure that the crayon is going to resist the watercolor, which you've done before. So I drew one flower. I'm going to repeat that flower possibly a couple more times throughout the background. Or a similar flower. Now with your flowers in the background, you also want a bit of a variety. So while I'm repeating some of them, I want to change it up a little bit and have some different kinds of flowers in here. And I'm also kind of on purpose trying to avoid the colors orange and like any colors I used in my butterflies, just because I want them to stand out. And they're not going to stand out as much if I use a lot of orange in the background. So it's okay to use a little bit of orange, like if you did want to do a marigold flower, but I'm not going to do a lot of it. So that's kind of a big flower, and I may not have space to draw another one that big, so I could draw a similar flower but have it be a little bit smaller. And if a butterfly's in the way, what I'm going to do is make it look like it goes behind the butterfly. I don't want to draw on top of the butterfly because these flowers are in the background. So butterflies are flying on top of the flowers. So remember, it's as if you're looking down, like you're flying up above these butterflies. Kind of messed up a little bit on this flower, but I'm not going to worry about it because things in nature are often not perfectly symmetrical. So I'm not going to worry about that this side doesn't look exactly like that side. Let's see. This is a pretty color. If you even want to, you can color in the center of some of your flowers if you want to. I think I'm going to draw a rose. So for a rose, if you're wanting to draw one, what I do is I start with a circle in the middle still, and then I kind of add flower petals that overlap each other and get bigger and bigger as the flower radiates out. And then when you get to a point where your flower's as big as you want, the flower petals on the outside, I make a little point on the end of them. And maybe this flower has a nice green leaf on it. Do one more rose down here. So I will finish adding lots and lots of flowers to my background. Again, here's an example of a finished one. So I'm filling most of the background up with flowers. And that's all we're doing today.